Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Ben Greiner, and today we're going to talk about Robot Cloud. Just a reminder, Forget Computers is the company, and our vision is to elevate the power of teams using Apple technology. And a big way in which we do that, outside of our customer service and support, is with Robot Cloud. Robot Cloud is hosted, managed, and enhanced Casper Suite. I know some of you on the call today are current Robot Cloud users. Some of you are investigating Robot Cloud. Today, we're going to talk about recent upgrades to Robot Cloud, recent enhancements we've made to make things easier for ourselves and for everyone who uses Robot Cloud. Quickly, just some high-level items that are just niceties to have. One is once a month, Robot Cloud does a verification of the startup disk to make sure that the startup disk is healthy. And in the past, although rare, occasionally people would interpret this time during which we were verifying the disk as there's something wrong with my computer. It's running very slowly, because this can take several minutes and it will cause your computer to run very slowly. So we created this alert, which pops up in the upper right-hand corner anytime we're verifying the startup disk. Once again, that happens automatically once per month on every Mac in the Robot Cloud system. And during this time, the user will see this notification. Verifying startup disk, a health check is being run on your Mac. And if you get any feedback at all from your customers about that, good or bad, please let us know. Okay, recent upgrades to Dashboard, which is an add-on to Robot Cloud, but everyone who uses Robot Cloud has access to Dashboard. And I just want to highlight some areas that you can take advantage of. So let's get out of here for a moment and go into Dashboard. This is my computer. And if we go into any device area, right here, I'm looking at what we call the Robot Cloud headquarters. You can sort by the default, which is alphabetically. That's what we're looking at here. You can now sort by model, which mimics the models shown here. Actually, I'm going to switch to Mac only for a quick demonstration. So if we sort by model, we see our 3 desktops here, our 3 notebooks, desktop, notebook, and then servers at the bottom. And we can view by OS, operating system, which mimics what we see here. 3 El Caps, 4 Yosemites, and 1 Mountain Lion. It's a little thing, but it's going to make it a lot easier to find what we need, display what we need. Remember, you have access to this. You can share this with your customers, with your clients. And additionally, there's a more advanced reporting feature, which we're still working on presenting. And anytime you're in the device area, if you go up to the URL right before devices and you type reporting / just add that to the URL, you'll get a column view where you can add or remove columns, hide or display columns. You can download as a CSV file. You can rearrange columns. You can sort columns, sort by age. And you can quickly see, things like we have a lot of expired machines in this example. And we're still filling out some areas like the backup. We're still working on getting that done. When all this is complete, it'll be a much better presentation layer. But for now, this is a beta, and we encourage you to use it and give us feedback. And I find it to be very powerful. Okay, so that's Dashboard. Network mounts. This is something that, as Apple has moved from the default AFP connection to the now default SMB connection, we have run into more issues where a user is having issues with a server network volume. And trying to ask them if they're connecting to SMB or AFP is kind of futile, because they don't really know or understand or even care. They just want us to fix the problem. And trying to schedule time to remote into their machine to figure this out can be time consuming. So a great first step is just to understand how they are connecting. So what we now do is we collect the network mount information during the daily inventory. Here are 3 examples where Chad Nielsen is connected to a server at this address via SMB with a volume of media. The volume name is media. He's connected to this computer, a local computer, as a time machine backup over AFP. And then he's also got a volume called software mounted via SMB at this location. And the way you can see that is if you, going back to Dashboard, if I were to go to my computer, I would simply, we don't display this information in Dashboard because Dashboard is a very high-level summary of information. But if we want to get more information, like the mounting volumes that I've just demonstrated, then we would click on the JSS number here, and we would log into the back end, which is the Casper Suite or the Jamf software server. And logging in there will display that information, which I've screenshotted here. If you don't have access to that back end, or you're not sure how to get access to that back end, simply reach out to us and we can help you. First run action. Okay, first run action is something that we highlighted earlier this year in January, but we recently gave it an overhaul and it's vastly improved. So if you don't recall, First Run is an action available in self-service to Macs that have been enrolled within the past 7 days. The goal of First Run is to set up a Mac with all of the default settings, printers, security changes, applications, all with the click of a single button. Why do this manually when you can automate, right? Now, the previous First Run action was limited to a subset of actions, and this would present dozens and dozens of pop-ups in the upper right corner of the screen. There was no way of knowing where we were in the list of actions that were running, and it was extremely limited in what it could run because the parent application was self-service. The new First Run doesn't use self-service at all, aside from providing a single button to kick off the provisioning. And I've got a pre-built demonstration here just for speed. We're clicking the First Run here through self-service, and it starts going through its actions. Now, this method allows us to perform any and all actions on a Mac in the order we want without having to guess where we are. In fact, it also doesn't stop working or generate nonsense errors like self-service is prone to do. So it's much more reliable and it gives us much better feedback. And here's an example of it right here. It's kicked off this dialog box, which is showing us approximately how long we have to wait, and it's displaying everything that it's doing. Granted, some of it displays very quickly. There's no way you could possibly read that or remember it or retain it. And that is why at the very end, and I'm going to fast forward to the end because at this point it's just a progress bar. Go to the end where it's now run all of the actions. It's updating the inventory information, sending that to Robot Cloud, and at this point it's also asking the user to log into support menu or to log into Zendesk for support menu. And then it displays this dialog box where you can then click and view the log and see exactly what First Run did. This is a big question we have. What did First Run do on my machine? And every machine is unique, and every machine can be customized to have a different First Run. And we encourage you to take advantage of First Run. If you haven't already, we have these forms at robotcloud.net/First Run. If your organization or your environment is not yet using First Run, please start by filling out these forms. Complete these forms to customize your experience, and that will get us started in building your own First Run application so that when you click that button, everything that you normally do by hand is done automatically. And we can constantly improve on this. So if you discover that your office or a client office needs to add a new piece of software that everybody needs to have, let us know. We can add it to your First Run. Let's see. Let's move on to the next piece. Oh, here's just another view of the log file where you can click on it and see the results. And the last thing I want to talk about, which is a fantastic feature we've put into Robot Cloud, it's called Robot Cloud Admin Assistant. It's basically a way for you as an administrator to elevate yourself temporarily so that you can run all actions available to your machine without reaching out to us, without saying, hey, I want to run X, Y, or Z, and I'm not seeing it in self-service. Could you enable that for me? And I have a little bit more information on that. First of all, we have a Google Doc here, which gives you an example of all the actions. The Robot Cloud Admin Assistant, let me go back here. It's nothing you can actually see per se, although I do also have a movie of it right here. Here we go. I'm going to play this movie. So you can see right now in self-service, we have a limited number of selections, and this is based on the criteria for this particular location. As an administrator, we're going to go into Terminal, and we're going to elevate ourselves, and we're going to say, I want to have access to everything for the next hour. And it's going to check in with Robot Cloud, and it's going to say, yes, we can do that, and then it's going to elevate the privileges so that when we go back into self-service, we're going to see a lot more options. So we've run the command, we go back into self-service, we refresh, and now there are all the options. Now, some of these are hidden for various reasons, like you might have noticed, Yosemite, the option to reinstall Yosemite on a Mavericks machine, or rather, 2 versions of the operating system were presented there. Those are options that you don't want to present to the person sitting at the machine. That's really only for administrator to make that judgment call. Do I want to reinstall an operating system? So that's why a lot of this stuff is hidden from the day-to-day use of the machine. But there are times when you need to do something that requires a reinstall, and it's outside the scope of what would normally be expected by the software. So you elevate yourself, you run it, and then you don't need to worry about putting it back, because after an hour, it will downgrade itself to the standard level, and those extras that were shown temporarily will be hidden. This is a feature we've been using for the past 4 to 6 months and testing heavily in our own environment, and now we're making it available to everyone who's using Robot Cloud. All we ask is that you reach out to us if you're ready to use this. We just quickly go through exactly how to use it. We make sure that it's operating in your environment as you expect it to, and then it's yours to use whenever you want. So the Robot Cloud Admin Assistant is really a method by which Robot Cloud users can temporarily promote themselves using a command line event. And this event uses the Robot Cloud API framework to dynamically provide admin level access to all of the installers that previously required manual activation. This also generates a notification with a full history of promotion usage on the Mac to create an audit trail. So if you're concerned that, well, what if my clients find out about this and they start promoting themselves, it will document anytime there's a promotion. It will generate a ticket, so you will have a history of any time this has been used. The result is you can now gain access to all the installers without having to contact us. And this is what you want, and this is what we want. So this is a win-win situation. And the privileges will be automatically restored to the previous settings after 1 hour. You no longer need to reach out to us. You can perform upgrades at any time, including anything that you're not sure if it ran and you want to run it again. Typically, when something is executed, it's then hidden from self-service, but this allows you to get that back. Give us feedback. Please reach out to us to enable this at your location. Give us feedback. The goal, as always, is to make Robot Cloud better and stronger for all of us. That wraps up my presentation for today. I'm going to close this down, and we'll see you next month. Thanks again, everyone. Bye.